watching ET Now with me, Vinnii Motiwala. And today we have very exciting news coming in, especially in the D2C space, online space. We all know Good Glamm. Now, Good Glamm is a D2C company that has actually acquired 51% stake in Tweak India. Tweak India is a digital brand that delivers content focused on multiple aspects of women and also posts content related to wellness, beauty, skincare. Any questions you have and any doubts you have, that gets solved over there. Let's bring on board our guests for today. We have Priyanka Gill, who is joining with us from Good Glamm, as well as we have Twinkle Khanna from Tweak India, the founder of Tweak India, joining with us as well. Thank you so much for joining with us on ET Now.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So, firstly, Twinkle, I'm going to start with you. I just want to understand in terms of, how did you actually come up with the idea of Tweak India? The important features that actually address that you address on the platform. What is it that if you could tell us a bit more about Tweak India firstly?
I think once I started writing, this is about, I would say, 10, 11 years ago, I had a lot of women reaching out to me, talking to me about things because I was writing about issues that were relevant to all women across boundaries. And then I got offers to do a TV show like Oprah. And I thought to myself that do I want to peer out at the camera through false eyelashes and suck in my stomach every morning? Or do I want to turn up to work in a messy ponytail? And I think the messy ponytail won. So I decided to do Tweak, where I could still talk to women, hear, their stories, and sort of eat as many banana chips as I wanted and grow nice and round and not have to worry so much about the camera. That was really the idea behind Tweak. Having said that, it took a year to kind of finalize this plan. I took it to 20 people in the media business to vet it and see if this was a financially viable business plan. And once they gave me a couple of pointers, that's when Tweak started. Tweak is basically a platform that talks about relevant matters, but it does not have any jargon. It doesn't talk to you in sermons. It makes you laugh along the way. And that is really our voice. We want to talk to women about everything, finance, sex, relationships, but in a way that's completely approachable.
Absolutely. It does seem quite approachable as well when I saw the platform as well. It's very friendly as well, but Twinkle, I want to understand one more thing. So now, why the move and what is your strategy in terms of, coming and, joining hands with Good Glamm, the Glamm Group? What is your strategy there then?
I think I know that I have the ability to build a business to a certain level. And this is a scalable business. And then when I thought about taking the next leap, I looked at Good Glamm, I looked at what Darpan and Priyanka had done, not only as the group completely, but even with the individual acquisitions they had, acquired. And I felt that this was a great platform for me to take the next leap. I also feel that we have a lot of synergy in terms of we can cross-pollinate each other's platforms. They've got multiple verticals that would help strengthen Tweak. And for them, perhaps Tweak is also speaking to a certain audience that they would get more access to as well. So this was my sort of ideology behind tying up with the Good Glamm Group.
Absolutely, and it's an interesting one. And Priyanka, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, Twinkle was also mentioning your, acquisitions that you have had at Good Glamm. Quite interesting in terms of, especially for good media, the platforms that you have, POPxo, ScoopWhoop, Baby Chakra, Miss Malini Entertainment. Each of these platforms actually have a very unique audience as well when you look at it. How do you now see Tweak India actually adding to your portfolio? What is the value addition? What was a Good Glamm strategy behind this now?
So absolutely, like you rightly mentioned, at the Good Glamm Group, and especially within the Good Media Co., we've tried to acquire and aggregate platforms that have different voices and that talk to different audiences. So when we looked within our existing portfolio, we had POPxo that speaks to that young 18 to 25-year-old woman, right? And the gap or the white space that we saw was we wanted someone who could, with great authority, speak to the older, more mature, and more aspirational women as well. And Tweak India, the platform that Twinkle has built, is literally best in class in India. They have a very assured voice. They have a very strong point of view. And it is something that really resonates with that demographic, that tier one demographic. So it fit perfectly within kind of the jigsaw of audience pools that we built across platforms in the Good Media Co. and for the Good Glamm Group. And we couldn't be more delighted to be partnering and working with them to help all of us scale and grow further.
Absolutely. I just want to understand one thing, from both of y'all could just answer this for me. As a user now of Good Glamm or Tweak India, both of them, combining and joining hands together, what can we expect from both the platforms going forward? Tweak India, how do we see that changing now since y'all have joined hands? And for Good Glamm also, how does this actually shape up now?
Priyanka, you want to go ahead and then I'll chip
No,
in.
absolutely. So, we love what Tweak is, right? And I think they're doing a lot of things incredibly right. So the first principle is that we like them to continue doing exactly what they're doing in any way that we can supplement, help them scale and grow at a much faster pace. That's what the resources of the Good Glamm Group are here for. There are certain things that we recognized over time. And for example, video, we know really well. I think that's one space where we can add a lot of value for Tweak India. You're looking at different languages that Tweak might get into. Hindi, for example, I think we've had a lot of success with POPxo Hindi and ScoopWhoop Hindi. And again, that would be a lever that we'd like to help move for Tweak India as well. But yeah, the first principle is all our digital media platforms are independent and they'll continue to be. And wherever we can find synergy and ecosystem benefits across the group, we'll keep adding them to help all of us grow and scale.
Like Priyanka said, Tweak is fairly autonomous in that way, and it will continue to stay like that. So I don't think you'll see great shifts in where we will be in a year from now in terms of content. We'll be delivering content in the same way that we have been. We are looking definitely at the Good Glamm Group for support in helping us with the back end, with tech support, with penetration into different languages like Hindi. And we are also looking at building out our video vertical substantially, because what we've noticed just with our singular property, the icons, we've got 21 million organic views. Now with Good Glamm's sort of marketing abilities and their expertise, we are hoping to be able to really, increase those numbers exponentially. So I think that this is a partnership where both parties have bits and pieces that can just come together and really make a cohesive, very strong enterprise.
Absolutely. And, Priyanka, I just want to understand in terms of just in general terms, have you started seeing, in terms of just the startup space, the funding from venture capitalist space actually drying up? Is that a concern that is coming in? Or, and in what stage of startup funding is actually happening as of now?
See, honestly, look, it's a reality that the startup funding has slowed down, right? And we've been seeing that for the past year. And I think we'll keep seeing that going forwards as well. But in this environment, I think well-capitalized companies and companies that are actually on a path to profitability are really going to prosper. There are some interesting opportunities that will come everyone's way in terms of consolidation and in other ways. I think it's a time for startups to be frugal. It's a time for startups to focus on the right metrics, especially go towards profitability and build in a scalable fashion. Right, because the funding is going to be where it is. Although India as an economy is doing well, consumer spending is on the up. We've had some of our best kind of quarters recently that has just gone by. So I think it's a great time to be building a scalable, profitable business.
Twinkle, I'm just going to come to you because you are an author, a columnist, a founder of a company. You're an entrepreneur. You're a mother. You're a homemaker. So many tasks that women have to actually face in a day-to-day life. Just after you have had so much success coming in there, how have you actually managed, and what would be your advice to women in terms of managing their work-life balance? What is that one thing you would say?
I find it very peculiar that always women are asked about this work-life balance and men rarely are asked about it. But having said that, it is a fact. No matter how progressive we feel, most of us are still managing work and a home life balance. But I think that I'm somebody who does juggle a lot of things. It's really not about keeping all the balls up in the air. My task is to make sure that all the balls I drop, I pick them up as fast as I can. And I think that is pretty much my agenda. It's about focusing at that task that I have right now at this very moment. So if I'm sitting here doing this interview, I'm 100% here. And 2 minutes before this, I was cleaning up my kids' mess from behind here so that you have a clean frame. So I think that it's about doing what you have to do to the best of your ability. I don't think there's a perfect entrepreneur. There isn't a perfect mother. We are just an amalgamation of all these imperfect things, and we do our best, and that's all we can really do.